Up next, we check in on weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Eric Hunt. Eric, a lot of folks going to be hitting the road this weekend for some holiday travel. Are you seeing anything out there that might get in their way?
Well, thanks, Bryce. Yes, there is a system that we are paying attention to, and hopefully you guys are too. So what I am confident right now is the storm system will be moving from California into the central U.S. On Christmas Eve. And I'm quite confident of moisture across the eastern portion of Nebraska in the form of rain and some snow in western Nebraska on Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. We are looking potentially at least a half inch and maybe upwards of 2 inches of rain across portions of eastern Nebraska. There is still a lot of uncertainty with the storm system, though, in terms of strength, in terms of kind of overall placement. So the European model is stronger and slower with the storm system. The GFS is quite a bit quicker with it and a little bit weaker. So if the European model solution verifies, there will be quite a bit of snow into central Nebraska, with also potential for some icing on Christmas Eve and Christmas morning from Valentine down toward Kearney. Again, that's not a guarantee, but I think that's something to watch out for. And again, if this does verify, we will probably be picking up at least 1.5 inches of rain across most of eastern Nebraska and potential for 6 to 10 inches of snow across portions of west central and central Nebraska. Panhandle looks more like probably a safe 1 to 3, maybe 4 inches for you. Again, I just keep a close eye on this. This could have a major impact on travel as we head into Christmas Day and the day after Christmas. As we head to later portion next week, we're looking at a strengthening of the Pacific jet heading into California. So that will be producing quite a bit of precipitation. So if you're heading out to California later next week, they're probably going to get hammered with rain. And it'll be interesting to see if this actually starts moving into the central U.S. as we head into the first part of January. Later next week, though, our area looks like we should be relatively dry, although I imagine it's probably going to be relatively cloudy, especially in the eastern half of the state for most of next week. Still above average temperatures for this time of year. I don't think we're going to be as mild as we have been this previous week. And again, there's a chance, particularly if we do get a good bit of snowfall across portions of western and central Nebraska, that we will see some pretty cold overnight temperatures, maybe some sub-zero temperatures if we do have a good bit of snow cover, some clear skies. And I think our high temperatures are probably going to be probably at least 10 degrees cooler for most of next week than they've been this week, which still would put us a little bit above average for this time of year. In terms of drought monitor, we did see a little bit of improvement on the drought monitor across portions of York and Hamilton County. Again, so it's still very bad. That's still extreme drought, but at least it's not exceptional drought. And for Hamilton and York County, it's the first time that you've been out of exceptional drought for quite a while. We got this because we did get some decent precipitation across this portion of the state last week, broad 1 to 1.25 inches, maybe some 1.5 inch totals kind of down near Superior. Eastern Nebraska generally picked up 1/4 to 1/2 inch of moisture, light amounts in western Nebraska or almost nothing. But again, a lot of that went in because soil temperatures are still relatively warm for this time of year, generally in the mid-30s. So again, this rain that is coming in this week will be generally going in the ground. So if we do get 2 inches of rain, the ground will hold it, which is great news. Usually this time of year, for 2 inch rain, will certainly not all go in the ground. Soil moisture, again, as it's been for most of the fall, lowest percentiles in the southeast and kind of also in the southwestern portion of the state, generally fairly good across north central Nebraska. But again, I think we could make some significant improvements with this map as we head into next week. It has been a relatively warm month, not quite necessarily record warm for most places, but generally above average. This is relatively typical of an El Nino winter, certainly an El Nino December. And again, this has just been very warm. We have a lack of snow cover, so the Grinch has been pretty happy with this. There's almost no snow anywhere in the U.S. other than some mountainous regions. And by the way, we are a little bit below average on snowfall, snowpack of the northern Rockies. Thanks, and back to you, Bryce. Hope everybody has a happy holidays and Merry Christmas.